the second thing that your students will routinely have to do, especially if you're going to have them submit apps to you, is download their app in a form that can be emailed. So what I'm going to do now is download this app, and I'm going to actually post it on Dropbox. It's not in Dropbox. I'm going to post it on Zoom, so you can actually see that I can effectively distribute this to all the participants in today's workshop. So the way I do it is I go back to the list of projects. Okay, you can see I have my list of projects here. And the project that I want to download is the first project here, mask and distancing. So I click on that to select it. Go back to my projects menu and say export the selected project to my computer. All right, I'm going to export that selected project to my computer. Now, you'll notice it has a .aia extension. You want to only export and import .aia files. What you don't want to do are export or import APKs. If you don't know what APKs are, that's perfect. You don't need to. It just confuses the issue. Just the AIA file is what you want to export. Click on that, and it makes it available. Of course, you can navigate and drop it to some folder where you can find it. So I'm going to go back to my STEM apps folder, and I'm going to save it. And I should find in that folder, here's the mask and distancing AIA file. Now, this is a simple file. You can see it's a relatively small file even. It's just 61 kilobytes. So it's relatively very small, but it's completely portable, which means you can distribute it to anyone, and they can then re-import it. So what I'm going to do is to simply drop this, for example, in the chat folder here, so that you can all see that it shows up. There's chat, that's chat right there.
Krish, can I jump in here a minute?
Oh, please do.
So one of the things that's been an issue for a lot of students as we work with App Inventor is, you see, if you hover your mouse over the file that's downloaded in the lower left-hand corner, Krish?
Yeah.
Right down there.
Yeah.
So typically the mistake that a lot of students make is they click on it and it's going to execute. So it's this step is really important that Krish is going over, because this is where a lot of the gap in some of that detail and what happens in terms of trying to get the actual file over to someone else.
Correct.
So don't double click on that, because it's not going to execute anything.
Correct. Thank you. I think that's a very important point, that you don't try to run this file or even try to open it. Right? I mean, it's not meant to be opened like you ordinarily would. It's not meant to be executed. The app won't run if you click on it. In fact, it'll just mess things up. It'll give you an error message. The thing to do is to actually show it in your Finder if you're using a Mac, or Explorer if you're using a Windows machine. I'm not exactly sure how it works on Chromebooks, but I'm sure that's something pretty similar to that, right? So you basically want to view the listing in the Finder, but not really open it. It's not meant to be opened directly on your computer. It needs to be, imported into your thing. All right, so what I'm going to do now is, again, go back to the chat window. I'm going to distribute that file to everyone, so it looks like any other file that you can then save to your local. Let me go here. So here's mask and distancing, and I can make it available to all of you. So you can use the same procedure to attach and send through email as well, or through any other app for that matter. AIAs are considered safe. They are not true executables, so they are considered safe, and they're usually not blocked by almost any email system. Unlike APKs, which can be blocked by many systems, AIA is almost never blocked.